Have you ever looked at your life and quietly asked, why does it feel like the more I try to be good, the harder life becomes? You pray. You try to stay honest. You avoid harming others, yet the tests keep coming. Loss, disappointment, loneliness, pressure, and you watch others who seem careless about Allah, living with ease. This question settles deep in the heart, unspoken, heavy. The Qur'an does not ignore this question. It confronts it directly. Allah says in Surah Al-Ankabut, "Do people think that they will be left to say, 'We believe,' and they will not be tested?" And in 29.2, this single ayah changes the entire perspective. It tells us that faith is not proven by words, it is proven by endurance. Psychologically, tests reveal what comfort hides. When life is easy, intentions remain unchallenged. But when difficulty strikes, the heart is exposed. Fear surfaces, reliance is tested, priorities are rearranged, and that is not accidental. Allah says in Surah Al-Mulk, "He who created death and life to test you as to which of you is best in deeds." 67:2. Notice carefully, Allah did not say who is strongest or who is richest or who is most comfortable. The test is about quality of response, not quantity of worship. From a psychological lens, hardship forces reflection. Pain slows us down. Loss removes illusions of control. Difficulty strips false confidence and pushes the human being toward truth, either toward Allah or away from Him. And Allah, in His mercy, chooses to test those He wants close to Him. The Prophet Muhammad made this reality very clear. He said, "The people most severely tested are the prophets. Then the next best, then the next best. A person is tested according to the strength of his religion." Tirmidhi Sahih. This hadith destroys the idea that hardship is a sign of Allah's anger. Instead, it shows that hardship often follows sincerity. Look at the life of the Prophet himself. No human being was more beloved to Allah, yet no human being faced more consistent trials. He lost his parents early. He was rejected by his people. He was mocked, injured, boycotted, and forced to leave his home. If ease were the measure of divine love, then the life of the Prophet would not make sense. But if tests refine souls, then everything becomes clear. Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, "And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger, and loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give glad tidings to the patient." 2:155. This ayah is deeply psychological. Fear attacks the mind, hunger weakens the body, loss of wealth attacks security, loss of people attacks the heart. Allah names them one by one because He knows exactly where human beings break. But notice the mercy embedded in the verse. Allah says something of these hardships, not everything at once. The tests are measured, calibrated, precisely suited to the individual soul. Modern psychology tells us that controlled stress can build resilience, while uncontrolled stress destroys. The Qur'an already taught this centuries ago. Allah never overwhelms the soul. Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:286. Your test feels heavy, not because it is impossible, but because it is meaningful. Good people are tested more because their hearts are capable of depth. A shallow container cannot hold pressure. A deep one can. When Allah wants to elevate a believer, He first detaches them from false sources of comfort. That is why tests often remove what we rely on more than Allah. A relationship, a job, a plan, a sense of control. Pain becomes a redirection. Allah says in Surah Ash-Shar, "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." 94:5. Then Allah repeats it again. "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." 94:6. In Arabic, the hardship is singular, but the ease is repeated, indicating multiple forms of relief around one difficulty. Psychologically, this teaches the believer to look beyond the pain, to search for meaning instead of escape. The companions understood this deeply. When hardship came, they did not ask, "Why me?" They asked, "What is Allah teaching me?" Even guilt, sadness, and inner struggle are not signs of failure, they are signs of a living heart. The Prophet said, "No fatigue, nor disease, nor sorrow, nor sadness, nor hurt, nor distress befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick he receives from a thorn, but that Allah expiates some of his sins for that." Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. This hadith reframes pain entirely. Every ache becomes purification. Every tear becomes erasure. Every sleepless night becomes an investment in the akhirah. Psychologically, this transforms suffering into purpose. Pain without meaning breaks people. Pain with meaning strengthens them. Allah also clarifies that tests separate truth from illusion. Or did you think that you would enter paradise while Allah had not yet made evident those of you who strive and made evident those who are patient? Surah Al-Imran 3:142. Paradise is not cheap, not because Allah is harsh, but because the soul must be prepared to live eternally in purity. When life tests a believer, it is not always because Allah wants to see their strength. Often, Allah wants to raise their rank. Some levels in Jannah cannot be reached through worship alone. They are unlocked through patience, endurance, and silent trust. That is why sometimes your dua is delayed. Not rejected, delayed, because Allah is shaping you, not punishing you. The delay grows humility. It deepens reliance. It cleanses intention. Allah says in Surah Al-Anbiya, "And we test you with evil and with good as trial, and to us you will be returned." 21:35. Ease is also a test, but hardship reveals more. If you are being tested while trying to obey Allah, understand this clearly. Your test is not proof of weakness, it is evidence of worth. Allah does not polish stones that have no value. And here is the quiet comfort many people miss. Allah never leaves the believer alone in their test, so surely with hardship comes ease. The ease may not look like what you ask for. Sometimes it comes as strength, sometimes as clarity, sometimes as peace that logic cannot explain. The Prophet Muhammad taught us to see life through this lens. He said, "Wondrous is the affair of the believer, for there is good for him in every matter. If something good happens to him, he is grateful, and that is good for him. If something harmful happens to him, he is patient, and that is good for him." Sahih Muslim. This mindset is psychological resilience rooted in faith. So if you are struggling today, know this. Allah sees you. Your pain is counted. Your patience is recorded. Your silent endurance is not unnoticed. Do not measure Allah's love by the comfort of your life. Measure it by how often hardship brings you back to Him. One day the believer will see the full picture, and every tear will make sense. Until then, hold on, because Allah only tests the hearts He intends to elevate. But what if these hardships are not signs of failure, but proof you're on the right path, the path of the prophets and the righteous? Their journeys were never easy, yet they persevered, knowing the struggle itself was meaningful. The journey of faith is a climb, not a stroll. The struggle polishes your soul, shaping your character and deepening your connection to your purpose. The view from the top is something only those who endure the climb will ever see. The reward is not just in reaching the summit, but in who you become along the way. Your struggle is the price of spiritual elevation. Every challenge faced with integrity brings you closer to a higher state of being, and that is a reward worth every step. We often compare our struggles to others' highlight reels, forgetting their hidden battles. What we see on the surface is rarely the full story. Behind every smile or moment of joy, there may be unseen challenges and silent hardships. The ease we see in others may be fleeting, a distraction from what truly matters. Sometimes what looks like happiness is just a temporary phase, not a reflection of lasting fulfillment or peace. The Qur'an reminds us, "Let not the free disposal of the disbelievers throughout the land deceive you. It is but a brief enjoyment, then their ultimate abode is hell." This verse teaches us to look beyond the present and focus on the bigger picture. True success isn't measured by today's comfort, but by the eternal outcome. what matters most is not how easy our life seems now, but where our choices lead us in the end. Think of two students. One studies hard, the other parties. Their choices may look similar now, but their futures will be shaped by their efforts and priorities. The diligent one succeeds when it matters most, reaping the rewards of patience and perseverance. Our life is that period of study. Every day is a chance to prepare ourselves for what's to come. The day of judgment is the final exam, where all our efforts and intentions will be revealed and rewarded. When others seem to prosper while neglecting faith, remember, their path is not yours. Your journey is unique, and your destination is shaped by your own choices and values. Your struggles are spiritual training, not punishment. Each hardship is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and closer to Allah. Sometimes ease is a test, a way to see if we remain grateful and mindful even in comfort. And hardship is a sign Allah is nurturing your soul, helping you develop resilience, patience, and faith. Don't envy their comfort. Embrace your growth. Every challenge you face is shaping you into a better version of yourself. Allah is actively shaping you for something greater. Trust the process and know that your journey has a purpose beyond what you can see right now. Faith is easy to claim when life is smooth, but true belief is proven in hardship. Allah asks in the Qur'an, "Do people think they will be left to say, 'We believe,' and not be tested? Like a blacksmith forging a sword, trials shape and strengthen us. Without tests, faith is just a claim. Trials turn it into reality." The prophets and righteous faced the hardest tests, not because they were weak, but because their faith was strong. When you say, "I believe," you enter a covenant with your Creator, one that must be proven. Every difficulty is a question from Allah. Do you still trust me? Your patience and perseverance are your true answers. Faith is written not with words, but with steadfastness in adversity. And Allah rewards those who answer with action. It's a mistake to see every hardship as punishment from God. The Prophet Muhammad taught, when Allah desires good for someone, He afflicts him with trials. Trials are signs of divine attention and love, not abandonment. Like a gardener pruning a cherished plant, Allah removes what harms us so we can flourish. Every pain, when borne with patience, erases sins and purifies the soul. Hardship is a mercy in disguise, a blessing that cleanses and elevates. Instead of asking, "Why me?"